to my channel. My name is Katie Noble, and if you're new here, I make impractical crafts and lifestyle content. I'm also a young mama. I have an almost 2-year-old son, and my husband is currently at work, so we are attempting to film without him around. Would you like more? This week we are going through and we are decluttering my kitchen. Okay, stay up here. But for this video, we are going through my kitchen, and I've been noticing in the last couple of weeks that I have doubles and triples of things, and I need to fix that because this is a small kitchen, and I do not have enough room for everything. So that means I really need to go through and figure out what I need to get rid of. And we are going to be starting with the pantry because I think it is by far the worst off in this whole kitchen. And on the fridge right here, I have some can organizers, which is going to be so nice because that means that I can finally keep a good inventory of everything that I have. So without any further ado, let's do a quick before of how my kitchen currently is.
Be ready to brace yourself, dear viewer. It is bad. You can see that I just have things all over the place. There was no kind of organization whatsoever. There was at one point, but not really anything concrete. You'll see I have 2 baskets. There's Owen trying to film with his graham cracker. But yeah, it was just bad. And here is Owen, who also decided it was so bad that he just wanted to close it.
I have this box that I'm going to be using for a giveaway because it already has some giveaway in it and it's not very full. So without any further ado, we're going to start with the pantry, where I'm not really expecting to be giving away a whole lot of stuff, just like really reorganizing. But this is my giveaway box. Hope those balls he's bouncing aren't too loud.
Even just looking at it here and beginning to think things out, it was so overwhelming, and I was pretty stressed out as I was taking everything down because I wasn't really sure what I was going to be finding. And when I tell you the amount of food waste that I have from this pantry, just from not knowing what is in my pantry, is ridiculous. Like, I am honestly ashamed of the amount of food waste that we ended up having from the lack of organization and the lack of knowledge of what was in here. I also ended up putting a couple of food items aside that were unopened and well away from their expiration date because I know we're just not going to eat them. Like, we have pickles. I know we're not going to eat pickles. And so we are going to be dropping those off at the food bank just so that other people who would actually eat them have a chance to eat them before we contribute to more food waste. Then it was time to clear out the little bottom cubby and give it a good sweeping. And there was so much flour and rice down there. I think we are so lucky that, like, no bugs showed up, to be honest. Like, I know that's not very aesthetic to say for YouTube, but I think we pretty lucked out this time, especially being in Arizona. May I just say that I am short, and having these hang over the edge and watching them hit the edge so hard was very scary. It actually, like, made my skin crawl. I put these 2 baskets back in so that they could hold the things that they were originally supposed to hold. The one on the right, the wickered basket, is snacks, and the one on the left is baking supplies. So flour, sugar, and kind of miscellaneous yeast, and whatever else I need in regards to baking. For the shelf above it, I decided to move all of my glassware up there, so my casserole dishes, including my duck casserole dish, which is one of my prized possessions. He ended up moving later to on top of the fridge so he could actually be seen, and he also was not very practical in here. He didn't fit very well along with all of my measuring cups. And I decided to place my Dutch oven up here as well because originally it was in a box at the bottom of the pantry, and so I never used it. But if it's somewhere that's right at my grabbing height, then I will be using it much more often, which will be way more convenient. So I'm excited to be doing that. On the bottom shelf, I put my crock pot and my bread maker and a couple lunch boxes, and that takes us to day 2. for day 2, I decided to focus on the side of the kitchen that has my stove, and honestly, this side had a lot of what I would consider junk drawers. So it had this really disorganized cabinet, as well as this is our miscellaneous drawer number 1, kind of like tin foil. You could see I couldn't even get it open all the way without fighting it. And then I also have this cabinet down here was kind of a problem because this is where we had a lot of our glassware, but Owen had actually broken the baby lock on it, so he could get in it, and sometimes he would just be walking around carrying my measuring cups, so I needed to figure out what to do with that. And then up above the stove, we have my pots and pans, some oatmeal, but they didn't really fit in this drawer very well. And then underneath the stove, we have all of our pans, like cooking, baking sheets, as well as here are all of our hot pads, and then just like a bunch of other random stuff that I just threw into these drawers. Again, I'm not the one who organized my kitchen when we first moved in. And then this was all of our cooking utensils, and this is really the drawer that made me decide that I wanted to declutter the entire kitchen because it was driving me nuts. And then down below it, we have like bowls, pans, and then here is like our spices, jars, apparently baking soda, popcorn, just a bunch of random stuff. So starting with this cabinet, I decided just to clear it all out and see what was going on. It's hard to tell in this video, but I was actually tearing paint up on the bottom of these spice jars, and that's from a food experiment that went wrong when I tried to make honey with garlic in it for flu season, but I ended up wiping it down as well as I could, and then I actually went in with some white paint to match the cabinet so that I could cover it up and get it back to the landlord special.
Here's the mess that is my counter. I have put a couple of small Tupperware in our giveaway, and now I need to figure out what I want, like how I want to organize this drawer, because I have no idea. I'm thinking I still want spices down here. I have a basket I have to go and find. In case you didn't know, this is our no-buy month, and so we're not buying anything this month. So anything that I do, I have to do with stuff I already have. And I have a basket that I'm not sure that I want to do with, so I think I'm going to put it in here for all of my spices. And then Tupperware I think is still going to go here. And then that top drawer up there, I don't know what I want to do with yet. I'm thinking maybe like canning stuff up there. I'm not sure. My goal is to try to get this entire side done today and then do that side tomorrow, because it is Wednesday and this video is going up on Sunday. But do you see the ridiculous amount? I don't know if you can tell. We have like 6 or 7 things of hot chocolate that are all Hence's, and so he needs to figure out what he's doing with all of that. But so far we've filled the box of giveaway almost to the brim. I have 5 items going to the food bank that I'm probably going to just drop off at our church because they take all the food donations to the food bank. So while in here is drying, I'm going to move on to the bottom half of this cabinet. So let's go.
You probably could have guessed this, but I ended up not using this basket in this cabinet because, first of all, it didn't even fit. You can see it's at an angle. And then also, I don't think all my spices would have fit in here anyways. And I couldn't even see the spices in the jar. And I decided that it just was not worth it and it was super impractical. So I ended up pulling it back out and I ended up finding somewhere to use it in my kitchen later, and you'll see that. But for now, I just put it aside and I went back to reorganizing this cabinet. I just wanted to point out that's a little funny that I got this on video, because this right here, when I'm smelling the spices, this 100% got my brain thinking for my next kitchen video that I have coming up in March. And you will be seeing the fruits of this thought process then. So I just think it's funny that I got my little wheels turning right here. Oh no, this one's empty. Do you want Mommy to open it for you? Mommy, open it?
No.
Can you see it from right there?
I can. Oh wait, I still need you.
They're from the Dollar Tree. You can check them.
I think its lid is right here.
Yes. Screw the lid on. Check it. Keep that one because that one's nice.
So if you can see all those boxes up there, those are actually a tea set that I am hanging on to. So I'm not actually going to pull those down. So we're just going to work on from like here down and then all across up here. And then of course under the sink and these two cabinets as well. Let's go.
Admittedly, mostly on this side of the kitchen, I didn't really give a whole lot of stuff away. I just really organized because I wasn't entirely sure everything that I had up here. So these baskets and all of the cups in here, except for one that was chipped, I ended up putting back. And then down below, I had some papers that I didn't really know what they belonged to. So it was a lot of just clearing out everything and then putting it all back, essentially. When it came to the center drawer, I actually already knew what I was going to be giving away. It was like that box of candles, the sippy cup, the coffee cups you see, the straw holder, and that was pretty much it. This drawer smelled really good because of that candle set, but I decided that was not a good enough reason to hang on to it, and I ended up giving them to a friend. But other than that, everything up here just got reorganized so it fit better, and then I was able to move on. This last upper cabinet, I ended up giving away a set of plates that I got when I moved out to college, but I decided to keep the little plates from it and one of the bigger plates because the pattern on it is the same pattern that my grandparents had in their house, and so I got really nostalgic and I wanted to keep that pattern, so I did keep a couple of those plates. And then it also ended up being a lot of those coffee cups you see at the top. That is what I ended up going through, and we ended up giving away quite a few of those, although we do still have a full cabinet full of coffee cups up on top. For under the sink, there were a lot of vases and a couple of extra cat dishes, and really everything down here ended up getting organized and not really decluttered, just due to not having a whole lot of stuff down here to begin with anyways. I do want to see if you catch something though, right here. Do you see that? Yes. Yeah, that. See, that might actually be a problem because I was going to give away this vase, but I ended up putting it back exactly where I got it from, just to see if that happens again, so that I can figure out what is happening with that. With that profound knowledge, it is time to move on to our last cabinet. Again, with down here, we really don't have a whole lot of stuff down here, so it was a lot of just making sure that I knew what was down here and then putting it all back. The only thing is that we had these copper mugs, and I ended up taking them out and putting them in our D&D cups cabinet. But that was really the major change from down here. I did end up giving away the ice holder that went with those copper mugs, but that was pretty much it. And then for our last drawer, it was the utensils drawer. And this honestly was pretty overwhelming at first, but then I realized it wasn't actually as bad as it looked. It was just kind of disorganized. And once I moved all of Owen's little cooking knives and little chopper things to our cooking utensils drawer, the whole drawer looked just so much better. And with that, it's time to go to the reveal. Here is how my kitchen is looking, and honestly, I think it is looking so much better. I know it's not like Pinterest perfect, but for us, it is extremely functional. I have empty drawers now. I know where everything is, and everything has a home in our kitchen. So I am feeling so much better. My head is in such a better headspace knowing that when I clean, my kitchen can actually be clean instead of just like somewhat clean. And having everything so organized is making me feel so much better. So, because I did not film an outro, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. I upload every other week. I do a fun mix of vintage-inspired crafts, whimsical crafts, and lifestyle content such as this. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, make sure you stick around. I love all of you, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Toodles!
Go. Go. Now we go to Go.